Hi all, it's nice to see all of you here today. I will skip to the company profile just for you to understand what we are doing and what we are developing. So we are a leading developer in our region of financial program systems. It's a complete retail core banking system combined with some great middle-end solutions. We are quite for a long time on the banking solutions market. We already implemented more than 100 projects for banks of Europe and Asia. And the solutions that I will be presenting today, we call it АРТ-БАНК system. It's a complete solution that contains business logic of a flexible retail banking system that is already working in banks of Asia and Europe. You know, nowadays major banks and fintech companies are so focused on developing complicated and complete front-end services that it seems that they have forgotten about the essentials of such services, which is situated below these services on the middle end and the back end of the financial institutions. Tell me please, do you realize that you are using time indicating service? Probably no, because it's just ordinary watches and they work like a charm. Best fintech service works exactly the same, at any time, quickly and reliably. You know, nowadays there are a lot of discussions about digital banking. However, it's not entirely clear what it is. The only clear thing is that digital bank should serve its clients like Apple or Amazon. All operations should be carried out in 2 or 3 clicks of the mouse, processed in real time, at any time, round the clock, 7 days a week. Reliable and flexible customization, system improvements made by 2 or 3 clicks of the mouse. System improvements made by editing, adding or changing business processes and client services. All this is necessary for banks of the 21st century. In order to implement such digital bank concept into life, appropriate digital platform is required, to which all communications within bank's infrastructure or within other financial institutions' infrastructure will be tied. IT security, single mechanism of business process execution should be implemented of digital platform of this kind. And we, with our solution that we call digital banking platform, solve this problem. Initially, this digital banking platform solution was designed for banking market. However, you know, we are now living in a time when banks in their classic sense are passing away. In order to survive in a rapidly evolving financial market, banks started to execute functions we are not accustomed to, not only banks though. And our digital banking platform will assist in implementation of any financial products for any financial institution. Does your flower store started issuing loans, or maybe your bank decided to take deposits in tulip bulbs? Digital world requires fast, flexible, reliable and open solutions, and we can provide it by means of our digital banking platform. So, what our digital banking platform is for? It's a universal platform that is suitable for implementation of any highly loaded financial products. By means of RDBP, it's possible to create a diverse range of different financial automation tools. It may be different banking automation systems, billing systems, payment switches, as well as some highly loaded cloud-based solutions for fintech startups. Just for you to understand and to follow, we are a typical company with an atypical solution for this show, because we are presenting not some front-end solution. What we are presenting is on this scheme is literally back-end and middle-end solution. So we are not front-end oriented company. We are focusing on the very heart of this fintech process, on the back-end and middle-end, where all the magic happens. So our platform is a universal, as I mentioned, fintech solution to implement any type of financial product and services. Currently, digital bank projects on many million of customers are already running on our solution. Our solution contains complete logic of fully fledged retail banking core system. So the most sophisticated products of any banking industry of any country is at your use just out of the box. But that's not the point. Possibility to quickly create new products, ease of connection of new systems. That's why a lot of clients from different countries are choosing our platform. So, as I mentioned in my entry speech, a lot of major banks and fintech companies forgot about availability, flexibility, reliability of their services. And by means of our solution, we can claim that snake flexibility and rabbit agility is finally possible. There should be no problems with reachability and availability of modern front-end system with our solution. Is your system unavailable due to some complex routine calculations, or maybe just because of some failed update? We can surely claim that it's so last century. No process breaks, 99.99 availability rate. That's what gives to you our platform. And that's not the end even. Thousands of full-scale financial transactions performed on the entry-level server hardware. That is a genuine know-how of our company and our solutions. With one of our partners, companies that develops server and computer hardware, we decided to test our solution in terms of processing speed. And we obtained some really quite interesting results. So just to introduce you to on what we were testing. Our partners provided us the server of the following configuration. So we have 64 Power 8 core CPU, we have 1 terabyte of RAM, and we have quite a modest all-flash array storage with a really low in terms of financial institutions bandwidth of only 4 gigabits per second. And on what we were testing our solution. So we entered into the system and used as a reference database, a database of one of the biggest banks of our region of the Eastern Europe. So there were more than 100 million clients inside the system. There were more than 100 million card contracts that were mainly debit cards. As well, there were 20 million of credit card contracts. And altogether, there were more than 2.2 billion of all types of accounts. It was balance sheet accounts, service accounts. So really impressive volume of data for testing. And we obtained some really interesting results. So to start with, we decided to test the performance of the system on online creation of contracts and transactions via our API. So we obtained some really interesting results at our maximum configuration with a maximum number of queues and queue handlers. We obtained to reach really impressive results. So we emulated just ordinary flow of transactions that are received by any system of any financial institution, and we managed to obtain more than 13,000 transactions per second. They're really impressive results for you just to understand and to compare with maximum processing speed of the major banks in our region at their peaks is only 5,000 transactions per second on top-end server hardware, and this was kind of a middle-end server hardware and 3 times more processing speed. But that was not the end of our testing procedure. We make a step further. We decided to test our system on some massive calculations and computations. So some more results. We emulated a banking day with a typical load for the above-mentioned volume of data. So execution of all processing complexes, settlements, applying fees to entire set of contracts, receipt of processing transactions, including balances changing, information of financial document on 100 million database on the above-mentioned server for us took only 1 hour, 45 minutes, and 27 seconds. For majority of banks and financial institutions with such amount of data, it should take all night, so 8 hours compared to our 1 hour, 45 minutes. After the emulation of business day closure, we decided to test month closure emulation. So We emulated all transactions during the day together with monthly interest accruals on all set of contracts, fee applying, formation of overdue transactions, formation of provision and execution of regular activities that are connected to business month closure. And this is a really complex computation, and those of you who know something about banking market know that usually during this time all core banking system of the banks are unavailable or partially available, and that's why during that time all front-end services are unavailable. That's why banks are doing this majorly in nights at the end of the month. So on this amount of data for our system, it took only 2 hours and 46 minutes to close the months. In the major banks, it takes up to 12 hours nowadays. So 4 times decrease in terms of our solution. So it's extremely fast. And yeah, just a small reminder. It was all a middle and server hardware. In banks and financial institutions, there are way more powerful systems installed on their backend. But it's not the end. We have even more. So all business models inside our system are created without programming. That's the really know-how of our system. We alleviate the life of programmers, of developers. They do not need to write a routine code. All is created inside our system by means of our constructors and without programming at all. After just configuring, all processes are compiled by our system into executable procedures. And these procedures are parallel performance optimized. Now we are using inside our solution Oracle, but you know progress does not stand still, and our solution may be implemented inside any modern development environment. First time in the market, we are introducing complete compilation of BPM models into multi-thread executable code. So all business logic, all integration stuff is performed by means of BPM models without need to write a single line of code. And after performing that BPM model, we compile them and store them in parallel performance optimized procedures. The other great thing with our solution is that we have a separate account processing module. So you may store accounts in any units, measures, weights, gold plates, and all they will be permanently online with 99.99 availability rate. But that's not all we have. We have even more. Inside our solution, for integration purposes, we have integration mechanism and intelligent service bus based on the BPMs. So you can build and rebuild your business on the go without the stop of the system functioning. And to handle this functionality of our solution, we have an online data storage here. By means of our online data storage, you can download from different backend systems client data, create online data marks, and assign access for other systems to this data mark. Yeah, and just a small reminder, all this is performed without programming at all. So all these configurations and setups may be performed by business technologists, business analysts, or just a way to ease up attention by the developers, because they do not need to write a code. We share the philosophy that support of such system is not enough. We provide a complete outsourcing of such systems and services, and complete outsourcing and support is our forte. We provide round-the-clock support, and flexible and reliable customization on your request will be performed in single days, or even sometimes in a few hours. So all these flexible and reliable customization, ease of support, and low hardware requirements, and extremely high processing speed, all this make our digital banking platform a successful solution for your probably financial project services. Well, that was generally all I wanted to say. If you have some questions, as I'm the last today to present, make sure to take your booth and take it to our booth. We will proceed with discussion. Thank you for your attention.